That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Frank, you want to get off to a good start. This approach shot here at the first is important.
It is. Two distinct levels on this this green, the high side on the left there and the lower side on the right. If you're trying to keep that ball a little left of a middle, you've got to be careful of that bunker on the left.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. That will be a great look at birdie. Locked in on the read and the speed. A birdie will send him to 1 under on the leaderboard. Now to the second. Frank, what do you make of this hole?
Well, over the years, we've seen more and more people hitting 3-wood off this tee. And the 3-wood's normally easier to draw, and it doesn't run out down that right side.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
One player told me, Frank, that it's like a root canal appointment. You're thinking about 17 all day long.
I think a root canal at times would be more enjoyable than playing 17 on a windy day.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
That was just a gutsy shot right there, and a good look at eagle coming up.
Really. This is an awkward length.
That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
See if he can get something going here. 2 straight birdies.
Oh, that'll put the smile back on the face.
Frank, a nice mix of holes to start. So here we go with a par 3 at the third.
Very narrow at the front of the screen, and that bunker too, you don't actually see it off the tee, the back left bunker, and it sneaks into that left side. So if that flag is on the left, just be careful.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
So a tester from 4 feet. Well, after that birdie, has to be feeling as though they're not out of it just yet.
We're not far away from the first page of the leaderboard. A couple more birdies.
For those of you just tuning in, we're checking in now on our featured golfer here at the fourth. Frank, I've been impressed with the play to this point early in the round.
Yeah, it's solid without being spectacular, and that's actually a huge compliment.
That ball's run out certainly over 300 yards, Frank. Call it about 310. Frank, the second here at the fourth is a dangerous shot.
Once again, this is another example of where you have to look at the green. Where exactly is the flag? If it's on that high portion, you've got to fly it all the way back.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Birdie try up next. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this. It's a cruel game.
So just a formality here. Now to the 5th. This long par 4 thought to be one of the most difficult holes on the front side here at the TPC Sawgrass.
Yeah, if you've got plenty of length in the bag, you can almost take it directly over the bunker on the right. But if you're not as long, you have to air down that left side.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot, he is on the fairway, over 300 yards. That's how you play the game, right there. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Once considered the best player at the college level, our featured golfer makes birdie, sitting comfortably inside the cut line. Frank, this isn't a hole that sort of jumps out at you the way, say, 17 does.
Yeah, a lot of times people will just sort of gloss over it, but anytime you get a par 4 into 400 yards, it's a great opportunity. But once again, a positional hole. Take advantage of it. Well, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
Frank, approach shot here at 6. Good chance to make birdie?
There is. You can almost cut this green into thirds. There's that front third, the left third, and of course, the back third.
Good swing, good shot yet again. And they're close, about 8 feet from the cup. Not a gimme, but well within his range.
In a very aggressive mode with that birdie, now in second place.
Frank, 7th hole here at TPC Sawgrass. How do you break this one down?
Not overly long, 440 yards, but once again, it's a tee shot. If you're driving the ball well, that's fine. You just sort of blister it down there, but you're starting to lose one a little bit to the right. There's 3 pot bunkers there, and of course, if you're fearful of it going left, there's a canal all the way down the left side that'll get your attention.
Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. Frank, you've been there. What's the best way to approach this next shot at the 7th hole?
There's a lot of mounding on this 7th green, to the right and the left. You can use those mounds to kick the ball to the flag.
Appears to be tracking well. That's another green hit in regulation, and that has been the story all day, just wearing out the center of that club face. Standing over his birdie putt. That was a nice birdie, and no doubt he's feeling pretty good about his position on this leaderboard.
A series of good holes in a row has got him to this point.
TPC Sawgrass, the fabled stadium course designed by the legendary Pete Dye. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Navalo. Here at the 8th, Frank, most players are happy walking out of here with a par 3.
And the reason why, it's a very narrow entry to this green. It's just littered with bunkers around, left, behind, to the side, and even short. Once you get further up the green, though, even though this is sort of an undulating green, it starts to widen up. So don't get trapped into just looking at the front of this hole.
And it makes the green in regulation. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. That's good work right there. Just a tap in. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Gives up a shot and moves down to second place.
Bounce back time.
Frank, I think this is one of the most fascinating holes on the golf course. The 583-yard par 5 ninth hole.
With technology now, he's loading up on it.
Look at the coil there.
Oh, I liked that.
Good contact, good result. It's nice to roll in a 25-footer now and then. Those feel good. But still, there's nothing like hitting that perfect tee ball. Long and straight.
Yeah, you can puff out your chest, last to play, the advantage, holes shorter. Basically, the list goes on.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. Now the third shot here at the ninth, Frank.
Another very narrow green, not that dissimilar to the first hole. There's a high portion on the left and a low portion on the right. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
Oh, that incredible shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up. Sneaks that in. We're now tied.
Excellent front side, trying to keep it going here on the second nine.
He's just playing beautifully, hitting so many good shots, giving himself so many opportunities. Can he keep it going?
Looks to be a good setup going into the green here at the 10th. Second shot now at the 10th, and again, Frank, accuracy is at a premium.
Yeah, gone are the days to sort of thrash it out of the trees like Phil Mickelson. Ideally coming out of that fairway, you're hitting to a green that moves to the right, so that makes it a little bit more difficult than what the mind's eye first sees.
Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Hard-fought par right there. Now to the 11th, par 5.
Good tee shot, and then you certainly think about hitting a hybrid or a lofted fairway wood into this green that's really narrow, one of the narrowest on the golf course. There's a little pot bunker left of this green when you go for two that often swallows up that second shot if it's a little bit too conservative. But there's a lake there. Seen more than one ball splash in the pond over the years.
I mean, he just blasted it down the fairway, well over 325 yards. Okay, the second shot now at this par 5.
It was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
He'll need to be strong with this. Yes, he's holed it, Frank.
Unbelievable. From that distance.
Sawgrass. It's a 358-yard par 4, so short on the card, Frank, but obviously a challenge. What's the key here?
Once again, trying to find that right position on the fairway, and that's down the right side. Anything down the left, that mound is going to block your view.
Frank, did you hear the sound of that coming off the club face?
It was like a cannon. That's an absolute beauty.
Now the approach to the 12th, Frank. What's the player looking at?
Well, it's a fun shot here for the second shot, especially if you've driven it down the right side, because then you can see the flag no matter where it is on the green.
It is always so disappointing from that kind of a spot when you come up short.
Yeah, you're licking your chops over that one. A shot you think you could hit directly at the flag. Now, test for the short game.
No putter, no problem. Slams that into the cup. And Frank, we always like when they have the whole location back left and that ball trickles down, feeds, and you can see some really good ones and maybe even an ace here.
Yeah, just like Mickelson a few years ago. Down there, it looked like it was going to flirt with a bunker, ran up and over the ridge, and in it goes. This is one where you have to play ground ball as well as high ball. Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
Good roll, good putt.
And through the years, Frank, it has gotten the best of the best, hasn't it?
We've seen Tiger Woods hit it left. We've seen Vijay Singh hit it left. We've seen so many players in the water down the left. Conversely, many a championship's been lost by hitting the ball up in the mounds on the right.
You take 4 here and run to 15?
I would sprint. Rich, right now, this does not look like the same player we saw earlier on in the day.
I don't recognize him. He was hitting it all over the ballpark in the first few holes. I didn't think there was any chance that he'd be where he is right now. Credit to him. This took guts.
Yeah, his composure is so different right now.
Well, that's the beauty of this game. You stay with it. It's 18 holes. You keep fighting, and you can put a score on the card. Well, those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway. Oh no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Frank, this game will drive you crazy.
Yeah, you can do so many things right, and then just something so simple, completely wrong.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Now to the 15th, and Frank, I know this is a hole that you really like.
Yeah, it gets no respect in my book, which I think is a shame. Just a nice dogleg to the right, and really 2 good shots, and a 3 here, which is actually a rarity. It sets you up for those closing 3 holes. Too often people just take 15 lightly, and 15 has just a gentle nibble that turns into a bite. Ooh, nice little bounce forward. Should be close to 300, 290.
Frank, once again, precision is so important as we look at this second shot to the 15th.
Yeah, you're looking at the flag here. You're looking at birdie, but if you miss, that big bunker on the left will swallow it up, and there's 2 little pop bunkers on the right. Tough to get it up and down.
What a shot. Almost in. Nudge this one home, finish it up. Pretty much doing everything right this week. 11 under for the tournament. You licking your chops here, Frank, as a player, when you get to this tee box?
Well, it's an opportunity. A 4 here certainly makes the mood better when you walk to 17 and then 18. So a 4 here is more than just making a birdie on a par 5. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Outstanding tee shot.
Yeah, ball sitting up. You don't have to worry about the wind or anything there. You just take a full-blooded cut at the second shot from here.
Not looking good, Frank.
I think it's wet.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
This one just requires a little bit of focus. So the eagle goes begging and still has this for birdie. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Frank, a couple different ways to watch golf as a fan. You could follow your favorite player for a number of holes, or you can park yourself in one spot. I think one of the better ones is the hill behind the 17th at TPC Sawgrass.
Yeah, and that's why the reaction of the fans is so different. If you followed that player the whole way around, you've lived and died on every shot he's hit. Meanwhile, if you're stuck at a hole, you want to see some tragedy, you want to see some great shots, and consequently you get that divergence of different type of fan.
Can't wait to write those on the card. One below par. Chalk it up. It's a birdie. People always talk about 17 being visually intimidating. Frank, what about 18?
If there's a little bit of wind off the right, the tee shot is so much easier. But if that wind is coming off the water, not only do you see the water and the wooden bulkheads, you see all the rough and the trees on the right. And of course, then you start bringing 5, 6, 7, even 8 into play. That's what makes this tee shot so hard.
Well, that is a really good tee shot right there, Frank.
I think that tipped the 300-yard mark.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
This is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
14 under on the deck. Frank, you surprised to see that name on top of the leaderboard?
I am surprised to see the name, but not that style of golf leading. It was great performance, especially tee to green. You don't often see people start that quickly.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Players. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo, coming to you from one of the game's most famous venues, the TPC Sawgrass, home to the Players.
And home of the Players, too. The PGA Tour professionals that play the tour, they basically run and own this wonderful venue. It is their championship, and it's one that each one of those players playing here this week would want to win. It might not be considered a major, but the Players, it is their championship.
Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be. Frank, you want to get out of the gates quickly, hit the proper approach shot here at the first. What does the player need to look out for?
Well, there's two distinct levels to this green. There's that left side and then that collection area to the right side. Flag on the top, it's a very, very difficult shot because that bunker plump comes into play.
Oh, can't hide the flag stick from that man. Locked in on the read and the speed.
great start.
How about this second, a par 5?
Well, if you're brave, you try and flash it down that tree line down the left, but there's a couple of limbs that poke out. Every now and again, they catch an errant tee shot.
Playing his second shot here at the par 5. Ready for his third shot. Needs to hit this close. So on the putting surface, and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second. This for another birdie on this hole on the week. Well, how about this start? Birdie, birdie to open the round. Frank, break down the par 3 third for us.
The big ridge in the middle of this green, really have a front section and a back section. That front bunker, the one that you first see off the tee, that really doesn't come into play. But there's a sneaky one behind the flag and down the left side. Really good par 3.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Frank, this is the kind of start every player wants.
Yeah, swinging it well. Certainly hitting the ball in the right place there, and good thing too, he's actually putting well.
Hole number 4 here at TPC Sawgrass, 384-yard par 4 deep fairway bunker to the right of the landing zone. You want to avoid that. What else is there to look out for, Frank?
Those huge mounds on the left, they're just as penal really as the bunker on the right. So this is one where you have to pick an object in the distance. Really focus on that.
It is a windy day out here, Frank. My hat just blew off. This is going to affect the players' shots, that's for sure. That's a good start to the hole, right down the middle. Frank, the second here at the fourth is a dangerous shot.
Once again, this is another example of where you have to look at the green. Where exactly is the flag? If it's on that high portion, you've got to fly it all the way back.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way. Our computer gives us 23 feet, Rich.
Trying to make yet another birdie. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. That's how you maintain momentum. Make those putts for par. Frank, the golf course toughens up right here at the long par 4 fifth.
Yeah, when you play it off the back tee, 470 yards, it's nearly 320 yards to that last bunker down the left side. That really has to be in the back of your mind. The ideal tee shot, little left to right.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance really for birdie, but really it was a rather poor approach shot.
So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Frank, a par here, that's just fine. Another shortish par 4, the 393-yard par 4 sixth. Frank, what's the challenge here?
Well, there's two bunkers down the left, but that's not really the problem. If you hug that left side, there's palm trees that come into play on that second shot.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Good-looking shot right here. So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot. Birdie here yesterday, trying to do it again today. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
That is a solid par putt. Frank, what do you think of the seventh?
Interesting par 4 for two reasons. The undulating green on the end of the hole that also shapes to the right, that makes it look like a dogleg right. But really, you want to play that tee shot just inside those pot bunkers down the right side.
Frank, this is a way to make golf easy when you can hit it that deep.
Oh, I'm going to say, I know that first number's a 3. I'm guessing the second one's a 2. Let's call it 320.
It is always so disappointing from that kind of a spot when you come up short.
Yeah, you're licking your chops over that one. A shot you think you could hit directly at the flag. Now, test for the short game.
And Frank, that steady play continues.
Rock solid. Excellent approach shot.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going. Keeps the momentum on his side.
TPC Sawgrass, the fabled stadium course designed by the legendary Pete Dye. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Here at the 8th, Frank, most players are happy walking out of here with a par 3.
And the reason why, it's a very narrow entry to this green. It's just littered with bunkers around, left, behind, to the side, and even short. Once you get further up the green, though, even though this is sort of an undulating green, it starts to widen up. So don't get trapped into just looking at the front of this hole.
Put a birdie on the card here yesterday, don't forget. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
That's how you keep a round going. Make them from that distance. Frank, what do you make of the final hole here on the front side, the 583-yard par 5 ninth?
Just depends on how much you want to risk here. If you hit a good drive down the right side, it's certainly gettable for 2. But you can make an absolute mess here at 9.
Good tee shot right in the fairway and plenty long. And from the fairway for his second shot here. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
Terrific golf shot. Now that for an easy birdie. Coming off a bogey here yesterday, chance to make it right. Great shot to get the birdie. Excellent front side, trying to keep it going here on the second nine.
He's just playing beautifully, hitting so many good shots, giving himself so many opportunities. Can he keep it going?
Looks to be a good setup going into the green here at the 10th. Second shot now at the 10th, and again, Frank, accuracy is at a premium.
Yeah, gone are the days to sort of thrash it out of the trees like Phil Mickelson. Ideally, coming out of that fairway, you're hitting to a green that moves to the right, so that makes it a little bit more difficult than what the mind's eye first sees.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Getting set now over the putt. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Let's go to the 11th. Now, it's a par 5 and a fun hole, Frank. You can make anything from 3 to 7 here.
And that's why, as the start of the back nine, especially on a Sunday, this becomes such a pivotal hole to start a run. Big body of sand down the left side that sometimes the longer hitters can get close to with the tee shot, but really it's the second shot. If you can reach this par 5 and 2, it's a very narrow green. The layup, well, it's actually an awkward layup, Rich, because you've got to push that ball to the left side, almost like a zigzag approach.
Frank, he's cranking it and banking it. Giant drives, a boatload of birdies. What a round.
Yeah, these are the days you just dream for. We know golf's not that easy, but on a day like today, savor it and just keep going. Keep doing it.
Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards. Nice position, short grass, second shot.
Rich, it's a different challenge today. The weather is so day-to-day out here, and when you get a breeze like this that's kicking up, you really have to sort of change your approach to playing these holes.
It looks nice out there, the blue skies, plenty of high sunshine, but it's a challenge because those winds have really freshened up. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Oh, it looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
I tell you, he's setting himself up for a good weekend. A former college #1 makes another birdie. Up now, hole number 12. It's a short one, 358-yard, par 4.
This can catch you off guard. If you just try and hit the ball on the fairway, if you're on the middle of the fairway, the left side, you will have a blind second shot. So ideally, hit it down that right side of the fairway if you want to see the flag.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time.
Long and straight.
That's how you do it. A great way to start a hole, nicely placed in the fairway. Players still fighting the strong winds out there today. Now they approach to the 12th. Frank, what's the player looking at?
Well, it's a fun shot here for the second shot, especially if you've driven it down the right side, because then you can see the flag no matter where it is on the green.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie.
This is that awkward length.
Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Trying to move on with a par in his pocket. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Hole number 13 here at Sawgrass. Tricky 181-yard par 3.
You don't have to hit directly at this flag. When that flag's at the back there, you can use the contours. When it's on the left, once again, you can use the ridge in the middle of the green. Matter of fact, one of the hardest hole locations is when it's in the front right, because that's when you have to be perfect.
On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. Trying to make yet another birdie. That's good work right there. Just a tap in. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Frank, you hate to miss it from that distance.
More than a setback there.
Just a couple of feet. That's a bogey, but still in the lead.
We start to see shots in hand really valuable.
14th hole, 481-yard, par 4, ranking second in difficulty, Frank.
Yeah, this one always gets overlooked, Rich. You've only got to flick the drive a little left, and all of a sudden your round just gets completely wrecked. Ask Vijay Singh. It cost him a Players' Championship. Many a player there has dealt with that left side game. You will pay the price.
Not the best shot, this one in the rough, but still will have a play from there. Frank, what's the best way to get at the golf ball when it's sitting down just a bit in the rough?
You have to accept the fact, first and foremost, that you're not going to get clean contact. So you have to decide whether the ball's going to come out short or it's going to fly. Because very rarely will it come out the normal distance of what you hit on the fairway. So if it's a little thin and wispy, chances are it might fly. If it's nestled down, you're going to have to take at least another club.
This is a good-looking shot. Frank, how good was that just to get it on the green?
Well, from that shot there, you would have thought for sure that there was no chance he had of finding the green. That was some shot.
That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Those keep the round going, those par putts. Now to the 15th, and Frank, I know this is a hole that you really like.
Yeah, it gets no respect in my book, which I think is a shame. Just a nice dogleg to the right. And really two good shots and a 3 here, which is actually a rarity. It sets you up for those closing 3 holes. Too often people just take 15 lightly. And 15 has just a gentle nibble that turns into a bite.
Frank, that is position A.
Yeah, the tee shot was like silk, Rich. I mean, just sets up that second shot so beautifully.
Frank, once again, precision is so important as we look at this second shot to the 15th.
Yeah, you're looking at the flag here. You're looking at birdie. But if you miss, that big bunker on the left will swallow it up, and there's 2 little pop bunkers on the right. Tough to get it up and down.
Birdie try up next. And getting ready for the putt. In the words of the legendary basketball announcer Marv Albert, from way downtown, yes! And if you're a couple of shots behind on Sunday, that final round, you're thinking about 3, and that's possible, isn't it?
Well, history's shown it has, Rich. Second shot.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
On the green in regulation. This for another birdie on this hole on the week. Score that, birdie. Frank, as a fan, it's so exciting because it's just so simple as well. Ball's in the air. You're wondering, where is it? Wet, dry, short, long, winner or loser?
And it's no surprise that this hole was an accident. This one was designed by not Pete Dye, but his wife Alice Dye. But we have seen so many accidents right here.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
He'll be pretty happy with that one. About 20 feet away, in a good spot. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Well done. People always talk about 17 being visually intimidating. Frank, what about 18?
If there's a little bit of wind off the right, the tee shot is so much easier. But if that wind is coming off the water, not only do you see the water and the wooden bulkheads, you see all the rough and the trees on the right. And of course, then you start bringing 5, 6, 7, even 8 into play. That's what makes this tee shot so hard.
To where the hole is cut, just about 190 yards, Frank. Get down. Look out.
It's over. The green.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
Birdie try again here today. Nice putt. Count it.
Well, Rich, 2 rounds in the books, and it's easy to see why the leaders are on top of that leaderboard.
Excellent performance, but still a long ways to go in this tournament. NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Players. There really is nothing like it in golf. The stadium course at TPC Sawgrass, home to the Players Championship. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. And what a golf course, Frank. And obviously the most famous hole is that little island, par 3, 17th. And it's the ultimate hold-your-breath moment. When that ball is airborne on a Sunday afternoon, you don't know. Wet or dry, victory or agonizing defeat.
It's certainly a great temptress. And it's fitting in this golf course that was created for two reasons by Pete Dye. It was created to be a cliffhanger of sorts and to test the great players of the world. And, of course, it was built with natural viewing in mind. So it's the perfect stadium venue for this championship.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Birdie here yesterday, trying to do it again today.
Great start.
How about this second, a par 5?
Well, if you're brave, you try and flash it down that tree line down the left, but there's a couple of limbs that poke out. Every now and again, they catch an errant tee shot. Tom Weiskopf was one of my idols growing up. I loved the way he swung. That swing right there reminds me of my idol.
And looks like Rory McIlroy, Frank, sticking the follow-through. Well, those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway. Just came over that one a bit, enough to tug it to the left, and plenty of work still to go. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
In the hole for birdie. Setting up for the third hole here at TPC Sawgrass. Relatively short par 3 at 177 yards.
But you've got to carry that ball at least 4 or 5 yards onto this green, even when it's firm.
This could be a good one. Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Settles in over the putt. Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
But one that you need to make.
Hole number 4 here at TPC Sawgrass. 384-yard par 4 deep fairway bunker to the right of the landing zone. You want to avoid that. What else is there to look out for, Frank?
Those huge mounds on the left, they're just as penal, really, as the bunker on the right. So this is one where you have to pick an object in the distance. Really focus on that.
That ball's run out certainly over 300 yards, Frank. Call it about 310. Frank, the second here at the 4th is a dangerous shot.
Once again, this is another example of where you have to look at the green. Where exactly is the flag? If it's on that high portion, you've got to fly it all the way back.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. He really likes this hole. Made birdie yesterday. Can he do it again today? Good putt. Frank, how about this par 4 fifth?
I lost count the number of bunkers here, off the tee and sort of in play with the second shot if you're in trouble, or even the one that's sort of left and long. Really good par 4, though. Fairway somehow has to be achieved if you want to reduce this par 4 to just a simple 2-shotter.
It's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Frank putting it all together today. What a nice performance.
It's been like a clinic so far.
Frank, as players get set for the second shot here at the fifth, what are they thinking?
You have to be precise with the second shot. You miss it long and left. Very, very difficult chip there. And, of course, short and right. In amongst those moguls in the bunker, it's tough to get it up and down.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. That's well played. Now a good look at birdie. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
And he makes it for par. Hole number 6. I really like this hole, Frank. It's fun, par 4.
Yeah, very claustrophobic tee shot. Heading through that chute to the fairway. Starts to open up and then it sort of shrinks in again because of all the palm trees around this green. But very short par 4. So if you're good with a wedge, good chance for 3.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot, he is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
So a good lag putt there, Frank.
Yeah, the whole idea of a lag putt, sometimes you build a 3 or a 4 foot circle and just try and get it inside that. Good putt.
Right in the heart. Frank, what do you think of the 7th?
Interesting par 4 for 2 reasons. The undulating green on the end of the hole that also shapes to the right, that makes it look like a dogleg right. But really, you want to play that tee shot just inside those pot bunkers down the right side.
They'll pay a little bit of a price for missing the fairway here because from that rough, you cannot control the spin on the golf ball. Frank, out of the rough, best to swing a little bit easier or get after it with all you have.
Well, a little bit in between. Obviously, it's going to require a little bit of strength to make sure that club keeps going through, but it's still the planning of the shot. Once again, check short. Is there anything I have to carry? And even remember, there's always the option of just simply pitching the ball down the fairway and taking your medicine.
That is classy.
They had a chance of going in.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, this is a hole that I really like. The 8th, 237-yard par 3, just a necklace of bunkers surrounding the green. What's the best approach?
You come out through that chute or that hallway of trees there, and this being the longest of the 4 par 3s at TPC Sawgrass, the green actually plays much smaller than what it looks because of that narrow entry.
Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. Made par yesterday, this one for birdie. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par. Now, it's that sneaky distance.
Continues to hold that sizable lead on the rest of the field.
Frank, the ninth is really a good par 5, isn't it?
There's so many options here. Just play it away, sort of 3-wood it down. He's gone for a little extra. Can a ball explode?
That is big. I mean, really big.
Oh, huge.
Ooh.
Huge with a capital H.
Busted that. Frank, that swing looks lively and strong.
Oh, that had to fly 300. It's close to 310.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Birdie try up next. It's a very makeable putt here. He is currently 5 under for his round. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Just a superb performance on the front side. He's hoping to keep it going here on the back 9, Frank.
The game is so much easier when you're swinging well, putts are going in. Really, you've just got to keep out of your own way.
But this could be really good, Frank.
Oh, straight at it.
We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Staring at a 125-yard shot now. This is a good-looking shot. Had a birdie here yesterday in there close. Great opportunity for another one. Birdie try again here today. Everybody loves him. Birdie on the card. Hole number 11, 558-yard, par 5. Frank, players in attack mode here.
Yeah, just try and blitz it down there. There are other bunkers on the left to consider, but really, with that much fairway, this is a green light opportunity.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one. Great Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's the next one. Judging by that light, it's not going to be too hard.
Second shot coming up here at the par 5. Frank, this one's not looking good.
Yeah, certainly not down the fairway line, heading toward the rough.
You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish, but, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
Looks like he just misread that. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. He's going to beat himself up on the way to the next tee. You don't miss those putts. For the par. continues to roll it very well all day long.
Frank, what's so much fun about TPC Sawgrass is the excitement that it generates for a fan and how many different holes there are. 12 is a good example.
Yeah, 12 looks like it's fresh from Scotland. You can see why Pete Dye spent a lot of time over there. Tee shot looks straight away, but the second shot is blind. The shots you get in Scotland with a wedge where you just see the top of the flagstick and you've got to really guesstimate on the yardage that you have. But a good wedge shot and someone that can judge their distance, this is certainly a birdie hole. This looks like it's going to find the target.
Frank, not just a player, but an artist. Just beautiful work right there.
The only thing I can say, Rich, is that was Seve-esque.
And he has it for birdie. And Frank, we always like when they have the whole location back left and that ball trickles down, feeds, and you can see some really good ones and maybe even an ace here.
Yeah, just like Mickelson a few years ago. Down there, it looked like it was going to flirt with a bunker, ran up and over the ridge, and in it goes. This is one where you have to play ground ball as well as high ball.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way. Well, it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Been this way all day. Airtight, no mistakes, solid shot.
And yet another green in regulation.
That's the idea. Just knock it in.
Frank, the 14th hole. A lot has happened here over the years.
I think it's the litmus test on the back nine. That's where things really start to heat up. It looks like a straightforward tee shot, but often the eyes wander to that water down the left side. And of course, if you think about that, you invariably fire the ball towards the right where those hillocks and thick rough is and virtually no chance of reaching the par 4 and 2.
Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards. Frank, challenging approach shot here at the 14th.
Yeah, there's some subtle mounds in this green. One that comes in on the right, and then another one that starts to come in about 2/3 of the way down on that left side.
Didn't hit it in there tight, but still with a good chance.
Yeah, if that's his worst shot at the end of the day, then I still think he's played well.
Different day, different hole. Made bogey yesterday. He'll do better this time, it looks like. Good effort and a good par putt.
Frank, the 15th hole certainly has the respect of the professionals.
But you're right. This is a positional hole where just keep the ball down the left center. You can't go too far, though, because you'll get blocked out or you'll run out of fairway. From there, it's really about knowing where the flag is, what position on the green, because this is another green that's not flat. If the second shot lands on the wrong portion of the green, it'll finish well away from the hole.
Not the longest, but not bad. 295 yards in the fairway. We'll settle. Up to the 15th green, but looking at a tough putt, considerably long, over 25 feet away. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Good putt. Frank, I think one of the things that fans love about this gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18, each hole has that sort of hold-your-breath moment. Certainly 17, we know when that ball's in the air, you're holding your breath. Is it wet or dry? 16, same on that second shot. You're holding your breath wondering, where is it? Right in the water or left with a chance for 3?
That's why you don't want to get too sloppy on that tee shot. A lot of people look at 16 because there's a wide fairway and they think just get it down there. But the extra 10 or 15 yards, there's a little ridge down that left side. If you catch that, the ball will kick good 20 yards further forward. 20 yards is 2 clubs. I'd much rather go into 17 with a 4-iron than a 2-iron.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Frank, here we go again. Another shot from the rough.
Yeah, let's see if he learned his lesson.
And it makes the green in regulation. A good 29-foot putt here. He was fooled a little bit on that one, Frank. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, it's the moment that makes it tough, isn't that right?
Yeah, you've made that walk from 16 green. It's 80 yards to the tee here. So as you walk along, and if your eyes venture to the right, you see it all in front of you. You see the crowd behind, and you realize this is the shortest par 3 on the golf course. But you also, if you think a little too hard, everything that you've seen over the years flashes through your mind. Safely on deck.
Birdie try up next. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy.
That would have been a real bonus had it dropped, but as it is, good putt. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Workmanlike hole, he walks away with a par. Now one of the more difficult holes in golf, the 18th here at Sawgrass, 462-yard par 4. In 2013, this hole averaged .39 strokes above par. What makes it so challenging, Frank?
Just that big body of water that's to the left of 18 here, that's also shared to the right of 9. Not a single fairway bunker on this in this 18th hole. So really, lack of definition. It's so hard to find a target here.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
I mean, really on top of his game right now. That was a splendid approach shot. Par yesterday, now for birdie.
Really solid stroke.
That wraps up the third round. Just one more to go before we crown our champion.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm looking at my crystal ball, Rich, but that champion that we see tomorrow might be the one just sitting at the leaderboard on top of it right now.
A season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final.
Oh, if this is up, it's good. Ooh, nice little bounce forward. Should be close to 300, 290.
Frank, you want to get off to a good start. This approach shot here at the first is important.
It is. Two distinct levels on this this green, the high side on the left there and the lower side on the right. If you're trying to keep that ball a little left of a middle, you've got to be careful of that bunker on the left.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. That looked like a miss hit, Frank.
The lie was okay. It's a little surprising. Maybe wrong club.
Wow, what a shot. Doesn't even need the putter.
And now we go down to the first hole. Frank, this is where you find out if you are a gamer with a capital G. First tee, final round, you're in the lead. Can you hold it?
And this is also where you find out if your best stuff is good enough.
Frank, so many different lies in golf. This is one you don't see too much. The golf ball is on the mulch.
Yeah, and it never really sits up. So this is one of those ones you've got to be much more conservative than you'd like to be. Play for the fat of the green.
Right now, the third shot here at the par 5.
Yeah, be very aware on what level that flag is. If it's on the back right, you must fly it all the way up there. The easiest one is that left side. You can use the mound or go straight at the flag.
This is a good-looking shot. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man.
This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday, and trying for another one today. And he has it for birdie. Now the par 3 third.
Not overly long, but 2 is a rarity here. Difficult green, and you don't see a lot of tee shots actually finish close here for some unknown reason.
Put a birdie on the card here yesterday, don't forget.
This one just requires a little bit of focus.
Well, that was a tricky one, but it's in.
Frank, how difficult is it to access the hole location if you miss the fairway here at 4?
Well, if you miss it left, I've got to say the lesser of two evils is to be in the bunker on the right. Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good. Got the measurement out there, Rich. Looks like 290 yards.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag. Hazard.
Maybe wet. Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him. Give me a break, Rich. Your mum could make that.
Ooh, that's a disappointment, Frank.
Just a couple of feet. Going to have to regroup now after that double bogey. Fifth hole here at TPC Sawgrass, long par 4. What's the challenge, Frank?
Depending, really, if you're a long or short hitter, the long hitters have the luxury of taking it over the corner of the bunker down the right. Shorter hitters really play at that bunker down the left, 320 run out.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards.
Second shot.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Good, clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up. Birdie here yesterday, trying to do it again today. Just didn't have the speed. He's made it. Frank, you don't want to get too cute with that second shot here at the 6th.
I remember many a time, Rich, when they put the flag right of center. You try and hit a little bit too close, those palm trees all of a sudden come into play. Hits one of those, that ball can go anywhere.
So that ball nestles down in the rough. Just got to weigh a little bit on that tee ball. He'll need to be strong with this. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. Just putt for birdie. Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Good par. Frank, the 7th hole here at the TPC Sawgrass, vintage Pete Dye, isn't it?
It is. Anything other than straight confuses the player off the tee. But there's 3 pot bunkers down the right side, just inside that last little pot bunker on the left of that. It's actually a pretty good line.
Second shot. Good look at the green. Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is gone.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
Almost. Wow.
Just a fraction too aggressive. Remember, line and speed go together.
Sometimes you want that birdie so badly, and all of a sudden you're faced with a lot of work, more work than you had hoped for, just to make the par. Par here's fine, isn't it, Frank?
Frank, 17 here at TPC Sawgrass gets all the attention when you look at the par 3s, justifiably so. but number 8 is a daunting challenge in its own right.
It is longest of the 4 par 3s. Plus, it's just littered with bunkers around the side, the back, and the front.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Frank, I think this is one of the most fascinating holes on the golf course. The 583-yard par 5 ninth hole.
With technology now, a lot more players can reach this par 5 and 2. Gone are the days where it was a true 3-shotter, but I remember when Sergio Garcia hit that 3-wood from, what was it, 270, 280 yards? Still one of the best shots I've ever seen.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be. Nice position, short grass, second shot. Frank, this is all about plotting your way around. Now the third shot at the ninth.
Yeah, there's a reward for a precise short iron shot in here. If the pin's on the right or the left, precision pays off.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Par yesterday, now for birdie.
Now, as they say, 300-yard drive, one shot, miss a short one, also one shot.
Yeah, that's painful. Well, you can see the golfer is just boiling right now after that miss and a drop shot here at the ninth. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
I don't think a tourniquet is going to work after that one.
Tough to watch. Frank getting set now for one of the more exciting back nines in all of golf right here at TPC Sawgrass.
And it starts at 10. It looks like a dogleg to the left, really, but you've got to play it as a straightaway tee shot. The run out just over 310 yards.
Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards. Second shot now at the 10th, and again, Frank, accuracy is at a premium.
Yeah, gone are the days to sort of thrash it out of the trees like Phil Mickelson. Ideally, coming out of that fairway, you're hitting to a green that moves to the right, so that makes it a little bit more difficult than what the mind's eye first sees.
Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today.
Hole's 4 1/4 inches. Could have done with one light, slightly bigger.
So a tester from 4 feet. Oh my gosh, that hurts. Oh man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts.
Even par currently.
Well, that's why you build a big lead. You can afford to drop one or two.
Well, it's hard to criticize a player for being sloppy when the lead is that big.
Good contact, good result. Frank, what's so compelling about rivalries in sports is that athletes need each other if they're going to go to great heights. Joe Frazier needed Muhammad Ali to solidify his legend.
Jack Nicklaus probably needed Arnold Palmer to go to a place that he had not been. And I think that's true across the board as we look at rivalries in sports.
I think it defines careers, Rich. It's not until those players retire that they realized how important it was to have that foe. You know, so often we're living in the present like we are now with Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. And it's not for years to come that we'll realize the sport wouldn't have been the same with one without the other.
Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole. Shouldn't be a problem here. Great shot. Get the birdie. Here now, the 12th hole at the TPC Sawgrass. It's a 358-yard par 4, so short on the card, Frank, but obviously a challenge. What's the key here?
Once again, trying to find that right position on the fairway, and that's down the right side. Anything down the left, that mound is going to block your view.
They'll be pretty happy with that 290-yard poke off the tee. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
I mean, that's how the game is played, right there.
He's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
He's made it. Frank, so much focus on the back nine here at the stadium course at TPC Sawgrass on the 17th hole with the island green. I think 13 gets lost sometimes, but the pros know this is a really good hole.
Oh, it can be disastrous too. That's, I think, what you're referring to, Rich. There's a big ridge in the middle of this green that bisects the top side with the bottom side on the left. So even when the flag's on the left, you don't have to go directly at it, because that normally causes the problem with the wooden bulkheads down the left side and obviously the water left of that. So something on the ridge can often run down towards the left. But we have seen the odd hole-in-one here over the years.
Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important that this one goes in. A good solid stroke there. No sign of nerves on that.
Frank, Tiger certainly had his adventures here at 14.
Well, we'll never forget that. Spun it left. In the end, was very, very lucky to get away with 6. Had it been 7, Garcia might have just caught him at the post. But he will, and we will, never forget 14.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Appears to be tracking well. Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. And getting ready for the putt. Now to the 15th, and Frank, I know this is a hole that you really like.
Yeah, it gets no respect in my book, which I think is a shame. Just a nice dogleg to the right, and really 2 good shots, and a 3 here, which is actually a rarity. It sets you up for those closing 3 holes. Too often people just take 15 lightly, and 15 has just a gentle nibble that turns into a bite.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Frank, once again, precision is so important as we look at this second shot to the 15th.
Yeah, you're looking at the flag here. You're looking at birdie, but if you miss, the big bunker on the left will swallow it up, and there's 2 little pop bunkers on the right. Tough to get it up and down.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. And in for birdie. Frank, you're one behind. Sunday afternoon, you're trying to win one of the game's great championships. Is this a spot that you love as a competitor, the 16th hole of par 5, with a chance to make a lot of noise?
It's a spot you cannot hide from, Rich, because you know exactly there. If you haven't looked at a scoreboard, you can feel it from the atmosphere.
Officials calling that one around 310 yards.
Second shot.
That's one of the more depressing sights in golf. You've hit a good one, and then it just sucks back too much spin off the green. Safely aboard. He has this putt for birdie.
Well read.
Frank, you think about heartache here at 17 through the years. What comes to mind?
Obviously, Sean O'Hare is the first memory. I remember Len Matisse messing the hole up. Sergio Garcia just a couple of years ago when he was trying to make two. And you're punished so severely at 17 for a miss. But you're rewarded, too, for bravery. And it's that fine line between being a hero and a fool. And it comes down to 137 yards.
Well, it's obvious he is in complete command of his golf ball right now. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Now one of the more difficult holes in golf. The 18th here at Sawgrass, 462-yard par 4. In 2013, this hole averaged .39 strokes above par. What makes it so challenging, Frank?
Just that big body of water that's to the left of 18 here that's also shared to the right of 9. Not a single fairway bunker on this 18th hole. So really, lack of definition. It's so hard to find a target here. That's as bad a shot as I've seen for a long while.
Frank, I think what sets golf apart from other sports is that the fan can get so close to the great athlete as the round is being played.
Yeah, well, that's why the sport itself, and we consider it more intimate for that reason. You know, most golf spectators play the game, whereas other sports, you don't see NFL players sitting in the grandstand. You see spectators, but most golf fans are golfers. This is definitely not going down the fairway.
It doesn't look good. I think it's going to be in the deep rough. Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
Frank, this is where the mental game really comes into play. You've hit a second consecutive shot into the rough.
This could compound very, very quickly, so now's a chance to just take a little breath, take a breather, and try to make sure this shot certainly gets out. And it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Okay, good shot on the dance floor to win the Players' Championship.
Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Good chance here. Currently at 5 under par. Didn't go your way. It happens in golf, so just pick up and move on. Just a fantastic week of golf. Add that one to the win count.
A lot of great quality players out there, and to come on top of that leaderboard is truly a great accomplishment.